Welcome to Up and Away, the restaurant marketing podcast, saving the world from bad marketing, brought to you by Qubriux, the all-in-one platform for loyalty and customer engagement. In today's topic, we're going to talk about SMS and WhatsApp marketing for restaurants. Meet Arun. He's the founder and CEO of Qubriux. He's a tech veteran with over 2 decades of experience. For Qubriux, he was the principal data scientist and architect for developing Starbucks' personalized customer engagement platform. Me, I'm Rev Ciencio, hospitality marketing consultant, tech evangelist, content creator, and co-founder and CMO of Handcraft Burgers and Brew in New York City and Salad House in New Jersey. Okay, look, you guys all know me. I'm the email guy. I talk about it all the time. I love email marketing. Email works, but it shouldn't be your only retention channel. It's a great retention channel, but it can't be your only retention channel. And listen, I don't want you to get me started on social media. You guys know I love it. I post every day. In fact, I just posted 10 minutes ago. But all the time it takes to create that great video or those awesome photos and then have it seen by 1% of your followers or guests, to me, that's pretty frustrating. It's more like our guests are browsing TikTok shop and they're liking funny pet video out there. And that gets in the noisy way of what we're trying to get out there. However, text messages, okay, WhatsApp notifications, everybody looks at those. We look at every message we get almost instantly. In fact, 90% of people read their messages within 30 minutes of delivery, which means people are reading them. People are reading all the message. Okay. That's the raw, unfiltered power and the potential peril also of SMS and WhatsApp marketing for restaurants. It cuts through the clutter like a hot knife through some butter. But if you screw it up, you get blocked faster than bad pickup line, right? Today, we're going to dive into how to wield this direct line for your customers the smart way. We're talking strategy, the crucial and kind of scary compliance stuff. Actually, we were talking about this in the pre-show, things I didn't even know. Killer use cases that actually drive sales. And most importantly, how to not be incredibly annoying and end up on everybody's block list because nobody wants to be blocked. Joining me to decode the do's, the don'ts, the dollar signs, the direct messaging is the wizard of customer engagement himself, Arun. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good, Rev.
Okay. When we set up this show, I literally said to you and our producer, you're going to have to school me because I don't think I know half of what you know, maybe not a quarter. And I'm a huge proponent of SMS marketing, but right, you just can't blast off a message every morning, right? It's totally different than email marketing. I mean, we literally just talked about this. And if you can get deep into those tactics, can you please sort of share your thoughts on what makes these channels so worth the effort? Talk about why they matter.
Yeah. So it's almost that the world has accepted email can be spam. It's kind of accepted now, right? I mean, no one complains a big deal about, email spam coming because email has been there as a channel for since its inception. So due to which I think the SMS and even WhatsApp, the regulators, especially in the SMS, where the telecom regulators have tried to make it very non-spammy. It is way more expensive to send SMS. Maybe one reason is that they want to purposefully limit the messages happening in SMS other than the technical reasons. It's 10 times more costly to send an SMS than email approximately. WhatsApp is even more costly. So I think the main difference is that, if you send an email spam, well, what will maximum happen that, okay, one thing is that your domain get tagged as spammy, and then Google will put or Microsoft will put more of your emails into spam. That's one thing. But if you do that in SMS or in WhatsApp, the punishment is even more severe. You will get the regulatory authority will take your SMS number out. You won't be allowed to that. You need to again get the approval again. And in many countries, in some countries, it's very strict. I mean, I have experience with some of our customers trying to get approval for sending SMS. The process take even 1 month or more. A lot of paperwork to get that done. So same thing with WhatsApp. The Meta is very cautious about not spamming WhatsApp. I mean, you have to pay a lot to analysis that if SMS is 10 times more expensive than email, WhatsApp is even more expensive. So keep your SMS and WhatsApp for your high impact campaigns. You know what? If you don't make it a part of your, if you do a weekly email campaigns, that is, as I said, or let's say it's an automated process. But with SMS and WhatsApp, you need to have a more specific high impact intention behind it. And ensure that two things is what I would say that what matters in SMS and WhatsApp messaging and marketing is, one is frequency, second is relevancy. So both have to be appropriate. It has to be highly relevant, and so that the receiver ensures feels that everyone feels that no, when I open an SMS from this restaurant, it is actually means something to them. It is relevant, and no one likes emails are already spam, and there is spam detection in SMS. There is no there's no spam detection there. I get in some countries SMS marketing is actually a little more unfiltered, and in those markets the effectiveness of SMS campaign is less because people don't open SMS just like email, but they get a ton of spammy SMS. So the idea is that keep it less spammy, keep it very intentional, keep it less frequent than your email, maybe approximately 1 or 2 SMS campaigns. So, but at the same time, right, the open rate of SMS campaigns is like 80% or even more. So we see that with our customers, and some of our customers love SMS marketing. And I have to basically tell them that, what, maybe slow down, don't send, weekly SMS campaigns, because all those campaigns has been very successful. So they get addicted to that, but then you need to have some sort of moderation. It's expensive also. But at the same time, if you have a high click rate, fine, that you have an ROI from those SMS marketing, even though it's expensive, but you have more customers opening rate, and then more business being generated from SMS marketing.
Are you saying that I can't text message all of my guests at 11 o'clock at night and just say you up?
Oh,
that's not a good idea. It's funny, you covered a whole lot there. We'll break some of this down, but I look at it this way, right? Like with email, like I know so many people who've created like an extra Gmail to like filter all of like the newsletters and stuff, and then they literally just open up that Gmail account, they hit delete, and they read none of them, right? Like you can't do that with SMS. Nobody's getting a burner phone. Nobody's getting a burner phone just to like sign up for the restaurant SMSs,
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a key point here. I mean, other than that, whatever the general thing you'll attribute into as email marketing, you can attribute that to SMS, but ensure that, the frequency less frequent and then more relevant. That's what I would say. The guiding principle here.
Okay, I definitely want to get into some of like the tactical stuff. I mean, that's what we talk about, but I want to talk about sort of the scary stuff first. So, like, what are the cautionary blockers here? Let's talk about compliance. What are like the non-negotiables? Consenting, opt-outs. How do restaurants avoid the healthy fines? Like, can we talk about that part a little bit, please?
Yeah, I think opt-in is very much required. It is, in fact, it is part of compliance in many countries in their regulatory agencies' policies. So opt-in is yes. And then a lot of times, when we engage the end consumer in SMS campaign, the first thing we ask is that, hey, do we have consent to send you further SMS? Yes or no? Even at any point in the SMS campaign, they can reply no to say that take me out of the list. So it is a non-negotiable thing. Ideally, like they have to have an explicit opt-in.
So you're saying like if somebody places an online order from my restaurant and I get their phone number, I can't just start texting them. I still have to go through the opt-in process?
You can text them, but say that if you want to opt out, let me know. Again, it depends. There's subtle difference in compliance with different countries. But generally that is you can opt to send them, but immediately you should ask the first person that do I have consent to, get further, send you further SMSs.
Okay.
Best practice, I would say that have an explicit opt-in, right? When you sign up for loyalty programs, when you sign up for the email, also get consent for SMS.
So I could in my online ordering process have an opt-in to SMS as they're placing the order. I could do the whole thing together, right?
Right, you can.
Okay. I may mess the names up here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a difference between a transactional SMS and a marketing SMS, right? Like sending somebody the receipt versus sending somebody a marketing message. Like what's the difference between those two?
I think transactional SMS is mostly like sending an OTP, like two-factor authentication passwords or pins, etc. Or hey, you just made a purchase. It has been less. So sending promotional transactional SMS is cheaper. The rates are even vary from sometimes different. I mean, WhatsApp, of course, there is a different rate for sending marketing versus transactional SMS, and transactional SMSs are less stringent than marketing SMS or a marketing WhatsApp. So transactions typically means it's not typically ask the consumer to make an action. right? It's not like you're not sending a promotions or discount. It's just basically an information you're sending them based on some kind of transaction they have sent. It's more like an information to them. It's not really, there's no intent of marketing there. A typical example is OTPs actually.
Okay, what does OTP stand for?
Oh, one-time passwords, right? Yeah, so it's
There you go. Hey, man. Yeah, like I said, you know so much more about this than I do. But it's like, you know, like I bought movie tickets yesterday, right? They text me my receipt and a QR code to receipt, but they can't be like, "Hey, did you see Thunderbolts yet?" You know, like
yeah, exactly. If you just send you a link to your QR code or ticket, that's fine. That's the transactional SMS. That's fine.
got it. By the way, I'm very excited about Thunderbolts, but that's a different conversation. Let's talk about the difference between SMS and WhatsApp. I mean, I know what the two platforms are, but like really from a marketing and technology perspective, like what do people instantly delete on WhatsApp? Do they act differently? Like, what can you give us a little bit of idea of what the difference between the two platforms are?
I think one main difference is from a restaurant perspective, the cost, right? The cost is even more expensive. So I haven't seen a lot of restaurateurs doing WhatsApp marketing actively. Neither do I receive a lot of WhatsApp marketing process. So WhatsApp is I've seen my experience is more for more transactional things. So the open rate of WhatsApp tend to be even more higher than SMS. Again, Meta has got even more stringent policies around marketing on WhatsApp. It's not that they don't allow you marketing, WhatsApp marketing. You can do that, and again, its cost is even more. So people have been very cautious about jumping onto WhatsApp marketing because it's almost twice or thrice even more expensive than SMS. I forgot the exact rates.
Okay. Is it worth it? Like, do I get more capability? Do people take more action? Like, if I understand if it's more expensive because it's way better and it does more, but if it's just more expensive because Mark needs to buy a new Ferrari, like, what, like, is it worth it?
Actually, the efficiency of channels, right? It varies from countries to country. So in markets like US, right? In states, I don't think a lot of people are still prominently use text, right? SMS. They text each other. I don't, for some reason, WhatsApp is popular, but its text is equally popular in states or even more, right? But in some other countries, it's just WhatsApp. Nobody even texts, right? In those countries, again, it's just the impact of the channel is proportional to how popular the channel is. In US, I don't think you need to do that much of WhatsApp marketing. I haven't seen a lot of people doing heavy WhatsApp marketing. They do SMS marketing though. But in other countries, yes, they do WhatsApp marketing.
Yeah, I from a very personal perspective, the reason I prefer WhatsApp is because I can send files back and forth and they don't hang on my phone. Like it doesn't eat my phone data. Where if I like text you a video, like, oh, we just look at this awesome funny thing that just happened. Like now that video file in my SMS is eating space on my phone. You know what I mean? Versus WhatsApp, I send it to you and like it's WhatsApp's data problem, not mine. You know what I mean?
Correct. And I've seen a lot of businesses using WhatsApp for customer support kind of things. And they use WhatsApp as a channel because of what you said. It's easy to send files back and forth, etc. And you can send multimedia voice, you can send voice message, etc. And I've seen that's more popular, coming up more.
Well, that's interesting. If I use WhatsApp as a two-way communication channel, so if the guest initiates the conversation, am I paying rates or am I just texting?
No, I think you're still the rates is still, there is a notion of session in Meta. Like they don't, so they say that, I forgot, like they basically aggregate n number of words into one session, saying that this many. So this is length of the session. This, as long as the conversation contains this many number of words or characters, that's considered a session, and then the pricing is per session then.
Got it. So intense. Okay. Let's come away from the differences here and let's talk about what to actually do. Like what are the golden rules when it comes to text message and WhatsApp marketing? Like value props, frequency. You started to talk about this earlier, but let's go a little deep here.
Yeah, I think the number one is relevancy, even more important than frequency. So frequency is important, but relevancy is very important there. So if you can personalize your messages, ensure that it is very relevant to that particular user. If you want to send a mass promotion, it's like the more frequent you want to send, you have to be more relevant. Okay. But if you say that I'm only sending once in 3 months, maybe you can get away with sending not so relevant messages, right? So if you want to send more frequent, it has to be more relevant. That's how I would say that. Okay. So to improve relevance, you have to have personalization. Uh, you have to, if you're doing any sort of promotions, ensure that that promotion is relevant to the person. It's even more, I mean, personalization is more extreme than segmentation, right? Segmentation looks at a group of customers together, but personalization looks at that particular, like, one customer. So at least you should be segmenting the customer properly. Also ensure that, you strategize your campaigns for high impact customers, maybe a big spending loyal customers, so that you know that if they're offering the SMS, there is going to be some sort of engagement from them, some sort of additional impact by engaging those customers. So you need to ensure that you segment to understand the relevant customers and strategize that, and then make the use personalization to make the messaging relevant. Frequency, as I said earlier, right? It's the more frequently you have to send, the more relevant, ensure that you're more relevant. But approximately the max, I would say, once in 2 weeks could be the max. Don't do it every week. Then you will lose the impact of SMS campaigns.
Okay. Let's break down relevancy. What would be an example or two or five of like a relevant use of SMS? Like, give me an example.
Well, simple, right? Sending a promotion for hamburger to a vegan, right? That is non-relevant, right? Again, if you're sending it, if I'm sending a salad to a customer, promotional campaign to a customer who's been buying salads, that is relevant. So you have to really understand the customer's behavior, purchase patterns, and then tailor the message accordingly.
That makes sense. Let's say that I'm doing a 1-day promotion. It's a 1-day menu item. It's a 1-day discount. It's a 24-hour, maybe 48-hour period, whatever that is. Can I send that to everybody, or do I need to segment that?
You can send that to everybody as long as you're not sending that kind of a message very frequently, right?
Okay.
Going back ahead, if you want to send non-relevant message, ensure that you do it only once in a while, which should be okay.
Okay. And then
if you're doing that every 2 weeks or even every month, then that becomes spammy then.
Okay, so I've literally never done this at Handcraft Burgers and Brews. So I'm going to ask you, we do a burger of the month. So every month on the first of the month, there's a new LTO. It's available for that month only. Is that a relevant text message? Hey, the new burger of the month is here, or is that not actionable enough?
I think that once
you didn't jump there, so I'm going to say it was.
Yeah, so there's no hard and fast rule in terms of what is the right frequency. My thought is that if you're sending that a mass promotion once in a month, it should be okay. I don't find a problem with that. And I know that some of the customers are doing similar campaigns. They have been successful in that. It's a little bit of trial and error also, that, right? It also depends on how frequently the customers interact with you. If you are a fine dining restaurant and the average frequency of customers is like they visit your restaurant maybe once a month or once in 2 months, I don't know what, that each restaurant is different, so the frequency will be different. But then if the frequency of this customer visit is once in every 2 months, and then does it make sense to me to send as an SMS message every month to all the customers? Maybe not, correct? So you need to factor that also in.
Okay, here's how I've been practicing. You tell me if this is relevant or not. When I think about SMS, or when I'm talking to my clients about how to use SMS, I tell them that what relevant things have to be tied to, quote unquote, an event. An event can be an actual event. I'm selling tickets to something. Hey, the masquerade Halloween party tickets available. That's an event, right? And I could SMS, be like 10 tickets live. That's an event, right? Another type of event could be buy one, get one free, available today only. That's an event. It has an expiration. Does that make sense? That essentially there's essentially a limited time window or limited availability of something. Event. Is that a reasonable SMS?
So this is something which I will not encourage to conclude based on opinion alone. Like, I can have an opinion which is very subjective, but The ideal way I would say that, if you see that your engagement and open rate and the further engagement is dropping, then that's a sign that your SMS is becoming less relevant. Let's say you started your campaign with, well, let's say approximately 95% or 90%. If you see a drastic drop with that, with the same frequency or content, that's a sign that it is becoming less relevant. Correct. And that's why I would do a little more data oriented approach here to understand whether your frequency and relevancy is right.
Okay, so if I test out the quote unquote event idea, a BOGO or a limited window of opportunity, if I continue to do that and it performs less and less and less, I need to stop, right?
Exactly.
But as an idea, is that like a good place to start? Like if I've never SMS, is like event SMS a good place to start?
It is. It's a good place to start. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can also do some A/B testing to get an idea, right? You send event SMS to 50% of the customers, leave the rest of the 50% alone, and see whether the revenue from the rest of compare the A and B and see how they perform.
And listen,
market. Yeah.
Everybody says ABC, but we're marketers ABT. Always be testing. I'm with you there. Let me ask you this question. I've never tried this, but now I want to. If I'm again on the stick, I keep air quoting here, an event style SMS. What about a contest? Like hey, enter to win, deadline is tomorrow. Like, is that a worthwhile use of SMS or WhatsApp?
I would actually have a pre-campaign to make the customer aware of it, right? Before you actually send SMS. So that this purely that, so it's again going back to that, you need to have an idea that this particular event is in general is relevant for the customer, right? That's based on your business. You have an idea that, okay, generally customers are interested in this or not. So if you have no clue, I will maybe start with some sort of an email campaign first to get a feel for it, and then jump out to SMS. Again, once let's say you have 100,000 customers or more, sending 100,000 emails will cost what? Maybe less than $100, but it will cost you, $1,000 or more to send the same number of SMSs. So that's also you need to consider factoring that. You don't want to waste your dollars also.
Got it. Okay. Understood. Relevancy, super important.
One more thing, right? You can also test since I sent A/B testing, right? You can also send A/B testing based on channels, right? You can send same content, send SMS, send emails, send WhatsApp. See the open rates and further revenue generated from the campaigns on each of these channels. So you'll have a better understanding. I think invariably in every marketing campaigns, A/B testing or ABC testing, multiple testing is your friend. I think you should actively use A/B testing in almost every marketing activities.
I agree, man. I use A/B testing in how I talk to my mom. So yes, marketer at heart. Let's talk about segmentation. I know we don't have a whole lot of time here, but we've talked about compliance. We've talked about best practices. We've talked about relevancy. Let's talk about segmentation. I admittedly at Handcraft Burgers and Brew, I've never segmented my SMS. If we send out SMS, it's like, hey, it's the St. Patty's melt one day only. Like, hey, man, what kind of segmentation makes sense here? Like, what kind of segmentation should restaurants be thinking about when it comes to their SMS database?
Okay, so let's say that you have 100,000 customers. I think 100,000 is a good number to play math.
God bless. I need to do some work. We're not quite there yet.
So let's say you have about 30% or 20% of lost customers in that. So my question: do you want to send SMS to these inactive customers?
Oh, that's a good idea. People who haven't purchased in 60, 90 days, something like that.
I would still try to have an explicit campaign for them. I'll say, okay, let me send a SMS campaign to people who have not purchased in 60 days with a specific message for them, right? And very, very personalized messaging for them. That's a separate campaign in itself. But in general, if you want to improve the effectiveness of SMS, you probably don't want to do that as part of your generic campaign. I'll say that I'll just fine tune this campaign to say, okay, send this SMS to my active customers because the likelihood of them engaging and opening and engaging further is high. And then likelihood of that being relevant is also high. And we'll let's say you have customers in your database who didn't shop for 6 months. Maybe they're not in your area. They moved to some other city, right? And if you send an event to a messaging to them, it's going to be spamming to them. And also you're spending your dollars, important dollars on those, irrelevant SMSs. So that's where the segmentation comes into picture, right? So segmentation comes in every marketing activity when you have a specific objective for that campaign. Like in my opinion, every campaign should have a specific objective. What are you trying to get out of that campaign? Which translate into which are the customers I need to address in this campaign.
Amen.
Maximize the ROI.
Okay, so segmentation based on customer frequency or whether they've lapsed or churned, something like that is.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, right. So, for example, let's say if you want to send event SMS on events, you can simply create a segment of customers who have participated in past events. That could be a relevant segment. Or if you want to promote a burger, you can create a SMS or create a segment of customers who have actively purchased or at least the purchase frequency of burgers is at least two or more in a month, or 3 or more in a month. You can pick the number, but here that's the idea. So it depends on the objective of the campaign. What is the message you are sending, and ensure that segment is relevant to that message.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's talk about where does SMS fit into like a bigger tech stack. We had a tech stack episode recently, so like I kind of want to tie back to that. But like, where does SMS fit in the marketing mix? Like, how should I think about that in terms of email, loyalty, social, whatever, and then also like how important is it that it integrates into the POS?
Yeah. So in general, right, the POS, the data from the POS, which is customers, purchase activity, everything, feeds into a layer of intelligence in the marketing platform. Like basically, so that the data feeds into creating an intelligence on customer activity, and then you create the content. Right, content is what you create, like what you type and what the campaign is about. Then you understand the segment. Segment is like to whom should I send it, and then everything like SMS, WhatsApp, email, push notification, all these things are channels. Right, how you and what are the channels to send this marketing campaign. So yeah, so in typically in all the marketing automation platforms, they have all these channels typically enabled. So you can create a message, you can create a segment, create a message, and select which channels you want to send those messages in. So you can create the same message. You can say, I want to send it to SMS and WhatsApp both, or I can say I want to do both email, SMS, and WhatsApp. You can select that. So from a tech stack point of view, they just become one of the channel to send the message.
Okay, so shouldn't be my first channel, but it's a really good additional channel to have. However, based on everything else we said, I got to know when to use it and how to use it.
Right, exactly. So when you buy this, email, typically email marketing platform are not limited to just email, right? Most of the email platform, which calls themselves as email marketing platform, you can also send SMS at least, and many of those platforms can send WhatsApp and also can send push notification to your mobile app.
Amen. And then like again, this show is brought to you by Qubriux, but if somebody's using Qubriux, you have all of this in one, right? Your email, loyalty, SMS, and then I get more of a 360 view of my guest.
That's correct. So Qubriux has got all these platforms enabled, like push notification, email, SMS, WhatsApp, even some of the social media channels. So you can actually create a message and select which channels you want to send it.
Awesome. I'm going to text you later today, and I'm going to pretend it's an event. All right, man, this is really, really eye-opening for me. Like I said, I do some of this stuff, but I know there's a lot of details in it, and you're kind of the master, so thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the conversation, can you please share this episode with a friend who might find it helpful? And remember to give us a rating right now. That helps us to spread the word to others who might find this valuable just like you do. And make sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss another episode from us. Cheers.